All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Hustle Podcast. Today, we've got a close personal friend, Devin Keller. Devin has been in the world of real estate for a number of years. He's worked with builders. He's done the team thing. He's a solo agent. He's done all of it, but more importantly, made a transition from being one of the best marketing gurus in the province and leading that entire organization and then transitioning into real estate. And we know that that's such a hot topic right now. You know, what does lead generation look like? What does marketing look like for real estate agents? And now we have to be that for our clients. And most of us don't know how. So really cool to have someone on the show who knows marketing, came from that world, and is now in our crazy world building a big life for himself. Devin, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's great to be here, man. You talk about the world of real estate now, crazy. I mean, we just got the interest rate cut again. Everyone's talking 75 basis. We go 50. We're in real estate in Ontario. We'll talk like Ontario in general. I think it's a bit different across Canada, but gosh, to moving, to not moving, to pricing right, to seeing price reductions, to affordability issues.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's insane. It's a wild time. And so depending on when you're listening to this, it's in the fall. It's still 2024.
Yeah.
It's crazy because we're having probably the largest cut we've seen in the last 2 years. The US just did one of their largest cuts they've seen in the last 2 years. And interest rates now sort of reflect that space 2016, 2017, which was, if you time it, was the start of the last crazy bit of market that we went through kind of pre-COVID. So a lot of really interesting excitement happening, but there's so much nervousness and tendency in the market. And I'm sure you're finding the same thing.
Yeah, gosh, I think we look at our pipelines from last year and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna pound this out this year. We're gonna do all these things, and then you're calling people more and more. You're like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Will you answer? Hello?
Hello? We were friends 5 days ago.
When you use as soon as you tell people you're a realtor, it's like this automatic hate for us at all times. It's such a unique thing. But, I was really curious because I don't know that we've ever actually talked about that transition from being in marketing and then, getting your license, working for a builder, and then getting out of the builder space. Just even that small time is so different for you being in this industry.
Yeah, I mean, so, having my life, so selling real estate, then going to the builder, and then even going into marketing. So selling for the builder, when I sold for the builder pre-COVID was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it's like, let's face it, like houses were flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
Like it was good, new homes, everybody wants to close in a year, a lot of investors. And real estate, it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And now it's, obviously there's a lot more going into it. And then transitioning into marketing, just a passion, obviously. For anybody that's listening, I think the realization is like when you make that phone call or you generate prospects versus leads, even, it's like you're not trying to just sell a house. You're trying to make sure that it's like, hey, Andre, I just want you to know who I am when you decide to buy or sell.
Right.
So it's like, being that person that occupies their headspace. And so the transition into marketing was that. It's like, how do you become part of that headspace so that when you're having those conversations, they're consistently remembering who you are? I mean, obviously, there's going to be people that you talk to that want to buy or sell right away.
We call those the lucky ones, right? We get really lucky on those ones. But I mean, even that, right? So you transition from the builder into marketing, and I think that's where we met, right? So you had to prospect me, right? Like there was a call.
I had to knock on your door.
You had to knock the door in order to get me in.
It helps that I'm good looking, though.
It does help that. Yeah. For those of you that are listening and can't see him, make sure you check out the YouTube as well, because he's a handsome fella.
And the gray hair, though.
Well, that's new. There's more of that in the last few months than we have.
I love that the camera automatically points to me that way.
It does want you for that.
There is somebody behind that camera right now, isn't there?
So what ends up happening, and this is really fun, is what ends up happening is the camera wants to auto track because you had your hand up. So we'll have to fix that in a few minutes, but it's perfectly okay. But yeah, such a unique thing, because even in the world of marketing, you became prospecting base all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, and let's face it, in the real estate industry, prospecting is what we do for a living, right? So I'm so easily distracted. I don't know what to tell you. Andre's just a good looking dude as well, though.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. But yeah, prospecting never goes away.
Well, and I think like Gary Keller says it too. If you read all the books, it tells you that, you know, your primary objective is although what pays us is buying and selling real estate for clients.
Yes.
In order to get those opportunities, we have to generate leads and prospect. And that's really 80% of the business.
Yeah.
And so putting together those processes and those types of things, you know, as an example, being a marketing person and prospecting yourself, right? It's like, I have to put you in a CRM.
Yeah.
I have to make that phone call.
Yeah.
I have to come in and see you, bring donuts, coffee, or whatever. And not to mention, when I come see you, it's also be like, hey, Andre, do you know anybody else that's looking for some marketing that I can talk to? And I think we do that in real estate too, right?
Yeah.
You know, hey, Andre, do you know anybody else that is looking to buy or sell real estate? Before I get off the phone, Andre.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. Is there anybody else that you know? And that's such an interesting thing because, you know, most people, I think, fall into that trap of, I can just market.
Yeah.
They fall into that trap right away.
Yeah.
You know, and they forget that, you know, once you've generated the lead, you still have to convert it.
Just the marketing gets you the attention. So it's like, hey, the class clown. It's like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. Now, what are you saying to people that are paying attention to you?
Right.
That's the most important part. Right. So it's like when you're putting content on the internet and people are watching that, like, how are you tracking those people and how are you converting those people? Right. And not to mention conversion. Let's face it, you're calling them.
Yeah.
You're picking up the phone. And in this market right now, you're making a lot more phone calls to get deals than you have been before. Yeah. So you better make sure that you're doing all the things.
Yeah.
So it's all important, such as this podcast,
Absolutely.
you know, bringing awareness to a lot of this stuff. That's what, you know, Gary Vee will say it too, right? It's like, it's the awareness. The awareness is the new currency, and bringing awareness to yourself. It's like, sure, a bus ad, but that's just a relevancy thing.
Right.
That's all it is. It's not like, oh, somebody's going to buy real estate because you're on a bus ad. It's like, no, that's not going to happen.
No. That's not the reason they're calling you, right? Is you have to have value, you have to have offerings, you have to do all this other stuff for them.
Training.
Yeah. And so one of the things I look at, like, and one of the things I was excited to chat with you about today is, like, how have you seen marketing evolve for the realtor? Because, you know, I know we used to talk about some of that stuff in the past, but I feel like it's almost 60% of our job now is the method and the messaging in which we can market and get in front of people. And that's kind of new post-COVID, getting attention on yourself, because pre-COVID, you could count on the phones or count on the doors. Yeah. And if you don't have a presence online now, a lot of that work will still get you business. It's just harder. And then you still have to continue to nurture and keep in touch with people.
It'd be like, you know, I mean, maybe this is a bad industry to say that, but let's say accounting.
Sure.
Or being a doctor, okay? Yeah. A doctor is always having to go back to school and learn the new technologies and learn the new things. It's like, just because you're done, you know, okay, I wrote my ticket, I'm done, now I got to go do, it's like, no. There's always going to be this forever evolving thing or things that happen. And I would agree with you with, you know, 60% of what you're doing is marketing. And just as an example, I mean, not that I'm sure anybody that's watching is, but it's like, before we used to say, okay, now you need to have somebody that's sitting back there with the camera, all this stuff. Yeah. All these things now become a little bit more automated. You've got the camera, you've got the lights, and there's the computer screen over there, and it's just you and I in this room. Right. And this stuff is, you know, but you're a real estate agent. Yeah. You're a real estate agent, man. Like, what the hell? Like, this, you should be going to a marketing center. So this is what the industry is becoming. Right. You know, and this office is amazing. I'm just going to plug Keller Williams Innovations here and the Icon team. I mean, you know, anybody, right? Anybody can come in here office, and use this, and it's so it's like, at the end of the day, that's a value add to an agent, especially looking to provide more value to their people that are consuming their content. Yeah. But
well, it's funny because I had another agent say this to me, where he said, you know, everyone should be doing some version of a podcast. Yeah. Right? Whether that's just you talking to the camera, whether that's you're bringing on guests, whatever version you feel comfortable with. But if you don't start getting information out to people in the spaces that they want to receive it, because let's be honest, the attention span of people is at an
Hold on a second. I should have go on my phone here.
Yeah, it's at an absolute all-time low for the human population, right? Yeah. Like, what do we have? Less than 9 seconds to capture someone's attention from the
if you watch any video that you would make, let's just say it's on Instagram, YouTube, which, by the way, everybody should be on, Facebook. And if you go run your analytics, you'll see that most people consume the first 7 to 8 seconds. And if you have a 30-second video, you don't get as very many, so it's like, what are you saying in that first 8 seconds? And how are you going to get, so now again, this is where we're becoming marketing people. How do you get those 8-second people to become 30-second people?
Right.
And that's value, because really, when are you doing the call to action? It's usually at the end.
It's at the end.
And you need them there. So
but now you got to almost do it at the start. Capture the information.
Hey, buy a house. By the way, here's the information.
And then go from there. And that's a radical change, because you're right. We're taught to do the call to action at the end. Give the value call to action. And most people never get to your call to action.
It's tough, right? And again, being the consumer, again, I mean, I keep saying the word again, but it's like, when people are consuming your content, are these people that are wanting to buy a house now?
Right.
Or they want to buy a house later?
Right.
Do they care about real estate right now? Or do they care about it later? So what kind of information are we handing out there? So it's like, us talking right now, and that's another thing I wanted to say too. It's like, we're talking right now, so somebody can listen to us.
Right.
It's being recorded. So we can put it on YouTube. It's also like, you could break it down into like 30 pieces of micro. And then, so this is like, really, if you want to talk about it being quite easy and 60% of your work, get to know the editing software.
Right.
Make a podcast, and then you've got 30 pieces of content.
There you go. So, you don't even have to learn editing software anymore, because now you've got AI, and we're going to cut this thing up in AI, and it's going to be done for us. And I'm going to get 20 to 30 shorts out of it. I'm going to get a bunch of mid-range content for YouTube Shorts, because that's up to 3 minutes now, et cetera, et cetera.
And perfection leads to procrastination. So it's like, you're not worried about, yes, you want quality stuff,
100%. But
Gary Vee also says, it's like, just put it out there. So people are like looking for this perfect video that AI can make, and it's not going to do it.
No,
but it's going to give you everything you need.
Right.
And that's what you need.
Well, and I think one of the things that I've learned through this process, because I got into the video space early, and it felt so uncomfortable for me. Like the person you see today doing this wasn't the person doing this in 2017, 2018. And there's videos of me out there that are still leaking around, that if you look hard enough, it's super, super embarrassing. And the team used to make fun of me for those first videos. They're like, we can't believe you sent that to the database. And I was like, well, it's out there, and one person called and made fun of me, but they're a lead, and now I get somebody to talk to, right?
You're vulnerable too, and that's
I was
key.
Vulnerable. I was very, very vulnerable. And I was, I remember having the piece of paper in front of me. I didn't know about teleprompter apps or any of that stuff. So I literally looked like a news reporter from like the 80s.
Good thing it wasn't naked news.
Right? And so, I realized very early that the industry was changing, and it's changing again. Right? You have to be present, you have to be fun, you have to have culture showing, you have to have your personality showing. And I think that's a really, really hard thing for a lot of realtors to come into that space and do, when nothing we're taught. Like, you remember going through your courses, there's nothing in your courses about marketing, there's nothing in your courses about lead generation, there's none of that information anywhere.
How to do a pro forma,
there's nothing. Right. And so then you get all this tactical stuff about how to actually sell the house, and that is such the smallest portion of our industry.
That's why, I mean, I don't want to say this to people because it's not my place. But I think of the trades. Okay, so I'm an electrician by trade. So I went through an apprenticeship, and then I got my journeyman ticket. People first coming into this industry need to go through an apprenticeship. They need to join a team. I mean, maybe you don't need to join a team, but maybe you need to sign out to a brokerage.
You need to be doing something that allows you some mentorship.
Correct. And hardcore mentorship too. Let's face it. This is not like hey, like here's a lead. Just tell them this thing and you'll be fine. It's like, you really and mentorship along the lines of how to talk to people, what you need to be saying. But remember when you were first got in the business, it's like somebody call you and you'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that appointment. I've got another appointment. But realistically, you're hanging out with the kids. But now people are like, no, I'm sorry, listen, I have to hang out with my kids. And the client actually respects that.
They do.
Now let's just say they're going to buy a house tomorrow. Sorry, kids.
We're going for a car ride.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think the vulnerability part of it is huge too. And the idea behind what it used to be to what it is there's a lot of people in this industry that still think they know what it has to be versus the change that it needs to be. And if you're not on the train, and how many real estate agents have we lost in the last year in Ontario?
Lots.
Just falling off the train, because
30 to 40% of the industry left.
So, I mean, and that's good news for the people that are still in the industry. However, people aren't always buying and selling real estate. So the opportunity is being the person that they think about.
Right.
And that's where people can't take their foot off the gas.
I love it.
And so marketing is extremely important that way,
right,
for relevancy. But
so as an expert in the space, and I can call you that, right? Your email signature used to say Grand Poobah. I mean, I still have copies of that somewhere.
Yeah.
But as an industry expert from the marketing side of things, what would you advise? So you've got this industry of veterans that have been doing this for a really long time, that now have to become marketers. You've got the newbies who, depending on your age, where you fall in, you've got to now learn how to become a marketer.
Yeah.
You've got the kids coming in, or the younger generation. Sorry, don't mean to offend anyone. Not a kid, but the younger generation that's coming in.
It's because we're old.
And they're already built for that world. Like, they've been using Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook. Like, they don't know a world without it. It's kind of crazy to think about, right? Like, my kids see a landline and I'm like, what the hell is that thing?
How do you phone or text it? It's like, they don't do, like, you and I pick up a phone. They just go like this.
Like, they don't have the same mannerisms. It's funny that you did that, because I still do that. Hey, give me a call.
Call me.
Right?
Call me, maybe.
And nobody does that anymore. And so, what advice could you give to the ones of us that are maybe struggling to get into that space, or don't really understand why it's relevant for our businesses?
Honestly, I would tell people to network within their people, and people need to join forces now. So I think real estate needs to be more of a collaborative effort, than people trying to be a little bit more individual. Most reason because this is not the same world where we hold all the information anymore.
We don't have any information that's sacred,
right? So it's like, I think the idea of being together with people, and let's face it, the idea of doing that, some people are like, well, I'm not going to get all my commissions. It's like, what was the saying that we always used to say? Would you like to have 100% of a garage sale, or 10% of Apple?
I'll take 10% of Apple
all day long.
And
so when you can be part of something like that, not to mention, let's face it, coming into a space where people are consistently motivated, you are who you hang around with.
Right.
If I'm constantly hanging at home by myself, guess what? I'm stuck in my own head, and nobody wants to be stuck in my head. So at the end of the day, I think collaborative approach is the way to go. Now, when it comes to marketing, that younger person is going to have the good ideas. I appreciate the expertise and the guru remarks. Don't get me wrong. It's like, I'm not going to fit out that door after this. But, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know that, when we had our team of people at the company I was at, that were amazing at what they do, Mike Santos being one of them. It's just the ideas that come out of people's heads, including the younger generations, because that's all they know. To me, that's the collaborative approach. So marketing needs to be more collaborative in that sense. You're going to have people that understand the software, the hardware and software all at the same time. Oh gosh, I got to stop waving my hand.
Your hands.
I'm going to sit on my hands.
Absolute nightmare, because it wants to see you. It wants our gestures. It loves when we do that. But one of the things that, and I love that you said it, and shout out to Mike Santos. He does a lot with me. You've seen some of the events that we've done. Mike's great at capturing a ton of that stuff. And that was me not knowing what to do and going to an expert who could do it. But one of the things around that you said, I think it was 2016. I was listening to Gary talk, and for people listening to the podcast, Gary Keller. I'm a fan, and always been a fan. And he said, we're going to enter a world soon where if you can't be the person who's building the team, start joining one or figuring out that collaborative. And he was saying that a decade ago almost to us, and the room was like, no way, right? And nobody believed it. And then here we are today, where the idea of the super team is unreal. Like, we're seeing some massive organizations start to form, one of those being now the number one team in the world in place.
And it's not always a face.
It's not always a face.
It's not always a face anymore. Like, you look at some of the bigger teams that exist now, those teams are getting smaller.
They are. Yeah, they are. But it's interesting to see that collaboration, right? Because I'm seeing some of this stuff happening on socials now, where you're taking a listing and the entire team is marketing the listing. It's no longer just, hey, this is my team leader. Here's his face. Here's the generic walk through the house. you're seeing the entire teams at the listing. The reels are really fun. We had somebody on recently from the McDougall team, and they just posted this crazy video where they did a lifestyle shoot where the entire team was part of the lifestyle shoot.
Yeah.
The entire team. I think there's 12 of them in there, or whatever number. And it was one of the coolest videos I've ever seen on marketing, but everybody was in it. Everyone was added as a collaborator. And that video ended up getting pushed out to almost 10,000 people because of the way they set it up.
Well, and it's like one person has 2,000 people. We'll just talk about Instagram. One person has 2,000, the other has 2,000, the other has 5,000. The more eyeballs that see it, who does it help and benefit the most? Your client.
Yeah.
Which is why you're doing this in the first place.
Right.
And then the second approach is, how are you getting your brand out there? So the collaborative approach, to me, it's, again, when you're not looking, the teams now are not, there's a defined leader, just like any company has a CEO. But if you go buy Coke, a bottle of Coke off the shelf, do you know who the CEO is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter who the leader is. Somebody's got to lead. Somebody's got to make decisions.
Yeah.
But there's also a team of people that can help with everything that you're doing.
Right.
So yeah, you might bring on the listing, and that defines your commission structure.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I still want to bring a buyer.
Right.
I'm on your team.
Right.
So if I bring a buyer, guess what? I get paid too.
Exactly.
So I mean, and I'm not trying to make it all about getting paid.
No, but that's why we do what we do. Like nobody got into real estate and said, "Hey, I don't want to get a paycheck. I just want the great schedule," which we don't have.
Yeah.
And I never really want to work, which we have to every time. And that paycheck, you can.
And I'm busy from 2 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays all the time.
Right.
Yeah, doesn't work.
It's just not a reality.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, it's that opportunity when we start to market as a group. And so, I'll get a number of people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'd love to market that property with you," which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we say yes, sometimes we say no. It's not a personal thing. It just depends on the listing and our strategy for marketing it. But the more eyes it gets on the property, as a listing agent, you have a fiduciary duty to that seller. And that is to sell the property for the highest and most amount of money.
And let's face it, with the new TRESA rules,
those are fun.
So it's almost beneficial for other people to be marketing the property.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more complication with
100%.
double ending a deal now.
Yeah.
When it comes to designated representative and all this kind of stuff. It's almost beneficial as a real estate agent to have a listing and actually go to all the brokerages and advertise on the brokerages versus just MLS anymore. Gosh,
you always take the camera. It's so much fun. It loves you. It just wants to be with you. It happens every time. But you're right. It is. So you have to uncheck it. There we go. You're good. So it's almost more beneficial for us to share the wealth and allow, because you may market it.
Mm-hmm.
My listing, you've marketed it to your group of buyers. Now you've realized a new buyer. They may or may not buy this home, but you could bring me a buyer.
Yeah.
You could also grow your business. You could also help my seller sell, because somebody in your network, maybe they don't even work with you, but they're in your network. They've got their own agent and now they bring the buyer.
Yeah.
And we have no idea how it's going to shake out, but we have to be there in that space now.
Well, we just don't know, like you just said. I remember selling a house in Hamilton, did a video, FPV, nobody was doing it, did a couple of loops. They weren't even looking in that area. This was like during the times of multiple offers.
Yep.
Those people came and made an offer on that house, and it was the highest bid. And, it was like, they weren't even looking in the area.
Yeah. Well, we just had one of those. So funny how you talk about that, because, we have a listing up right now that the team's been sharing out, and an agent showed it a few days ago. She sent me an offer today. She showed it a few days ago, and she sent me this offer, and she called me today and she said, "Hey, this one wasn't even on their list." And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "It was a bonus house. I didn't tell them I was going to add it. I saw it on someone connected to you, had shared it out there, and I thought my clients would like it."
Yeah.
And so she brought them to the home on the weekend and brought us an offer today, and didn't see it. They didn't like it. They didn't tag it on realtor.ca or anything else. And we're working on an offer with them today just through our online presence.
And that just like sparked something in me too. It's like, if you're let's just say you're a new agent, you have any listings, and you look at all, like even just in your brokerage, because I mean, realistically, that's all we're allowed to kind of advertise. And you shared every single video that every single listing in your brokerage has.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden all your people see you can bring a buyer.
Yeah.
I mean, the collaboration approach is
It's
huge.
so good. It's so good.
And just joining forces with people.
Yeah.
And we all want to belong to the same brokerage and teams and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are we doing for our industry? Because let's face it, there are a lot of things a part of our industry that there are scary parts of it. There are good parts of it. And if we as an industry become valuable to people, they'll continue to use us.
Yes.
Just like, McDonald's.
Yes. Well, and that's, funny you touch on that, because whether you've realized this yet or not, everybody wants a piece of the real estate industry now. It is such a large industry. You've got the tech companies wanting to come in. There's Amazon that's getting into the mortgage space. You got Walmart trying to squeeze in. And you've got mega corporations that want a piece of the pie. And the bigger pieces of the pie those corporations take, the smaller that's left for the sales agent on the ground.
Yeah.
And they would love a world that we just become door openers, right? Like that Uber of real estate that keeps getting thrown out there, where you get the notification, you show up, open the door, and they toss you $100 for doing it. Like it's insane. Yeah. But if we're not careful and we don't add value, we don't learn marketing, we don't do some of these things, we will get annexed, and we'll be that, remember when Netflix came out and everyone was like, nobody's going to want movies in the mail? And then we got really lazy and we wanted movies in the mail.
Same thing with like Instacart with groceries. Yeah. Like, it's like, I remember ordering groceries and being like, this is like $15 more, but I didn't have to go to the grocery store, so I got to pay it.
And now it's not $15 more anymore because the inflation's caught up behind it. And it's only like $5 to do it. Yeah. And so there are people that are getting their groceries that way for $5. And you think about the time that's spent, that you just click a few buttons at home and
you're eating an hour later.
$5.
Taco night.
And you're done, right? We just had taco night last night. It was amazing. So these are those things, right? So, and for everyone listening, watching, I didn't tell Devin we were going to do this. This is one of those things we do as a surprise for every guest, but we call it the mic drop moment. Ooh. So, you're an eclectic realtor. You've been with builders. You've done the marketing thing. You're now marketing as a real estate agent. But we call this the mic drop segment of the show, where before we end, we go, what's the one thing that you think everybody listening has to hear from you, whether that's a book, whether that's a comment, whether that's a surprise tricky reel that you found out? What's the thing that we're going to end on that's your mic drop moment?
Well, I'm going to get deep here. I think that as I grow as a human, as a father, as a human, as a male, as a partner in somebody's life, as a friend, I think the real thing that people need to do is discover out who they are and what they like. Ooh. If you don't do that, you're going to find yourself waking up one morning and realizing that everything you've done for the last 5 years is a joke. Right. And you might not know where you want to go. You'll put yourself in a headspace you don't want to be in. Yeah. And come to realizations that maybe aren't realizations that you should be coming to. Yeah. So I would say discover out who you are. People get into this business, they want to be by themselves because they think they're leaders, but they're not leaders. Right. They're not number 5s in a business, they're number 2s. Right. They're not number 1s, they're number 3s. Right. They like cold calling, they don't like door knocking. Yeah. They like talking to people and they like administrative work, whatever the case may be. And I'm just talking about real estate. Yeah. Find out who you are as a person. Learn your past traumas. Find out what your insecurities are and work on yourself. And once you find out who you really are, real happiness shines through. And when it comes to doing anything, it's just be happy. I love that. Gary Vee says it too. It's all about perspective. Can I say this? I know that we're
absolutely going to go,
but I want to quote Gary Vee on this because Gary Vee changed my world by saying this. And in one of his talks, he says, when you die, you're going to be dead for a really long time. Did you know that you were born and it took a long time for you to be born? So you've really gotten, let's hope that people live for 100 years old, but you've really got this 100-year time span of the millions and billions of years that the Earth's been around. Just be happy, man. Yeah. Just do what makes you happy, and just make sure that you wake up with a smile on your face and have gratitude for what you want. And realistically, that's what it comes down to.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's only the second time someone's dropped a mic on a personal side of things, which I'm really loving. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but it could be the guest that we're bringing on. But that is so impactful. We've heard that so often, right? One of the things that you hear with us is that hustle versus happy culture, right? Yeah. And I get tagged sometimes. The show name is Real Estate Hustle, and people say it's not just all about the hustle. Yeah. yes, you got to be happy too. And I appreciate that. I love that. And I think if you're happy, the hustle doesn't feel like a hustle.
Exactly.
Right. It
Exactly.
becomes so much easier.
Yeah.
Well, Devin, listen, that's all the time we have for today. We're going to definitely bring you back. We love people to do multiple episodes with us because we really want to pry the bar back on some deeper marketing stuff. I love that you touched on Gary Vee. That's absolutely, he's one of my favorite people. I had a chance to see him a few years ago. I have a selfie with him that sits on my desk at home. So I love that you touched that as well. If someone's looking to get a hold of you, they want to chat with you, they want to, dig into your brain, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? Is that on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is just the best way. I am Devin Keller, Instagram. I just no point in emailing me because I won't see it all the time. I am not putting my phone number out there, but you could probably find it anyways.
Yeah, it's out there.
I am Devin Keller on Instagram, and everything else will follow forever.
I love it. Folks, this has been another episode of the Real Estate Hustle Podcast. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. We are everywhere. If you do want to get on the show, feel free to reach out. Instagram is the best for us at the Real Estate Hustle Podcast, or me personally at 100 Chin. Devin, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Been an honor, been a pleasure. And that's our show for today, folks.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, man. Woo! Woo! All right. Let's get that.